This episode is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men. Get back your pride. Call them 956-441-2188.
Now, the song is an acoustic tune, right?
It's strictly acoustic.
Is everything like that, or are you going to get as heavy as Sons, or are you going to get heavier than that, or not as heavy? Or
no, it's pretty much in that vein. It's
it's all acoustic,
acoustic driven. There is one song. There is one song called "Stay," and it's kind of like a rock and roll kind of thing. It's kind of like I'm trying to go for like a Marshall Tucker kind of.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Like Southern rock kind of stuff. But everything is it's mostly acoustic driven.
Mm-hmm. Well, that song that you all did, that you recorded and did a video over there with Sam Daly, and that had like a Southern feel as well, man.
Lock, stock,
yeah, lock, stock, and barrel, man. It had a little like a Texas groove, Pantera-ish, Southern style feel to it, and then the video was great too, man.
It was just a good time, dude. We invited a bunch of our friends, close friends. There's a barbecue team called the Boozers.
Yeah.
And we invited them out there, dude. They threw down on the barbecue pit. It was just a big party, really. And yeah, we went out there, drank, ate barbecue, and fucking shot a video.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, man. Yeah. So junior high, you got out of junior high and you got into high school. You finished high school. You graduated.
Yes, sir. I graduated 2005 McAllen Memorial. Graduated just by the skin of my teeth, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you graduated.
At least I walked. Right.
The skin of my teeth didn't even help me.
Did you play football all your high school years, or did you stop at a certain point?
So I started playing football in 7th grade, then 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and I think I played one varsity football game a senior year. Yeah, because varsity. I only reached varsity because I was a senior, right?
You're right.
I sucked that bad. But
what was the position you played?
I went from corner to safety, to free safety.
Okay, so
I was better as a free safety just because I didn't have to keep up with dudes. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I was like the last line of defense. I was back there, and all I had to just waited for someone to
you run up to somebody instead of follow somebody.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm just looking for the ball and waiting to just pop somebody, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I played one game varsity, I think. And
so you were second string or third string or what?
Shit. I want to say fucking last string.
Were you center bench?
Center bench.
I would have been sitting right next to you, dude.
Yeah.
I have no athletic ability in me. All I can do is lift weights.
All I remember is that when the A team or the first string, whenever the first string needed, whatever to get relieved or whatever the hell.
We need somebody to pummel.
Yeah. So they call me out there. But like I was telling Charlie earlier, I always made it a point whenever I was on the field that I was gonna do something just, miraculous. Try to just get some sort of like acknowledgement. So I would and I feel bad saying this, man, but I was going just to hurt people. I wanted to just to pop somebody, man.
You had aggression.
I had a lot, man. I mean, I still kind of, deal with it, but
what causes that aggression, bro?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, there's stuff from the past and, just stuff from the past, man. But yeah, man, real aggressive. And a couple of times, I'd make some plays. And I'd, run off into the, run back onto the bench, and the coach would be like, "Damn, Morales, why can't you do that all the time? It's
because I'm mad right now."
For sure, man.
Well, look at the kid that walloped the official, dude,
from Edinburgh.
Yeah,
holy shit!
I mean, Edinburgh paid a big price for that,
and that's the kind of national recognition we're getting right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
We got the good and the bad. Hey, we got the Sons of Texas to represent, but then sometimes we got the Bobcats, and they're like taking cheap shots at ref. It almost looked like a pro wrestling thing. Like, the ref is not down.
But it goes back to aggression.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, but I think every boy, every like young man has that. I believe that.
It's testosterone. It's
Would alcohol and smoking a doober calm your aggression down, or how is it? Because there's some people that drink and they get like aggressive,
and some go to sleep.
Some go to sleep,
and some become lovers.
Yeah, and some get real lovey-dovey.
You're my best friend.
Yeah. Some people cry and shit.
Yeah,
but
I'd like to think I'm a happy drunk. I really am. I love I love to have a drink or two. I love to get a little tipsy. But I'd like to think that I'm a happy drunk. But yeah, there are things that I guess in normal circumstances, if something was said or done, wouldn't really set me off. But when you're in that state of mind, it's you can't control it.
Well, you went from letting your aggression out on the football field to letting your aggression out on stage, dude. On stage, because when I see you perform, I mean, it's an aggressive performance. I mean, you put 120% in there. It's like you're beating up that microphone, dude.
Yeah, you can see that he's like taking it out on himself.
Yeah, and then
like, whoa, this guy,
the veins on your neck.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're just like giving it all you got. You got a powerful voice, dude. When did you find that voice? What grade were you in?
Oh man. Well, I mean that I knew that I could sing from when I was younger. But as far as like that kind of whatever I do with Sons of Texas or whatever, I didn't find that till maybe 16, around 15 or 16, I started kind of just really delving into like wanting to sing like Chad Gray from Mudvayne or Phil Anselmo from Pantera. Like I really, really wanted to hone in on that. So I would stay home a lot. Like, I was at that age where I didn't want to go anywhere with my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my mom and dad, hey, mijo, let's go out to eat or whatever. Or let's go, watch a movie or whatever. I'd opt out. I would stay home, crank the system and just try my best to just to emulate that, man.
You know what I liked about Pantera or Phil Anselmo is where he does Cemetery Gates and he does This Love and he does the last song on the album. What's it called?
Is it?
There's one called Hollow.
That one.
Hollow.
And in his voice, he goes from smooth and melodic to just like aggression. Yeah. And when I heard you do that acoustic tune with Mark Morton from Lamb of God, I was like, those are two aggressive dudes, like
chilled out and doing and flowing with the melody of their vocals. I mean, that's when I think your voice like kind of really came out, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, again, I've been singing since I was a kid, man. And I mean, a lot of like the influence back then was, whatever you heard on the radio. So, Backstreet Boys was really in back when, and all the girls loved Backstreet Boys.
That was a huge video.
Dude, they loved that shit. So I was like, okay, like, I have to learn this stuff so I could kind of
tell me why
ain't nothing but a heart. So I would, yeah, man, I would not serenade, but I'd sing, and like, a couple girls would, oh my God, can I hear that? And I'm like, oh, so stupid.
And you were dressed in white.
Yeah.
Like the video.
White, man.
And white shoes.
Hanging out at an airport.
Yeah.
Like the video.
With a little blonde in your hair, man.
I did for a little while, man. I had the little
I was in Backstreet Boys.
Bleached highlights.
Yeah,
the highlights.
I saw a picture of you when you were a kid, man. You had you had that look, little mascara stuff. You were like, I guess you were starting to sing in a band back then, right?
It had to, yeah. If I was wearing any kind of makeup, it was with the first band, Solarium.
Solarium, bro. What year was that? 2005, 6 or something like that?
Yeah, that was maybe late 2005, 2006.
Was the music of Solarium very heavy as well? What did Solarium sound like?
Yeah. I mean, it was heavy. At the time, there was a band called Kill Switch Engage that was like really, they were big, man. And I was huge. I mean, I was huge fan of Kill Switch Engage. Huge fan of Jesse Leach on vocals. and that was what really, you know, we kind of we wanted to emulate that sound, man. Kill Switch Engage, but there was a lot, man. I'm trying to think of that era. There was like Kill Switch Engage.
A lot of Corn.
There was All That Remains at the time. What we tried to do with Solarium was, you know, the double guitar, you know, double guitar kind of 80s feel, but it was much more like Kill Switch Engage, Devil Driver, All That Remains kind of thing. So that's what and it's weird because I went through somewhat of a vocal change as far as like my screaming. If you were to listen to, man, I don't have any of these Solarium songs. But
and that's because there was internet and stuff. You could put them in a hard drive back then, right?
I think there was the discs. What do you call those?
Yeah, you could burn it on a disc.
We had a shit ton of burned discs, and we would just you know, pedal them out, man, like candy. But yeah, I had a much more different scream vocal approach at the time. It sounded like, if I can equate it to anything, it'd be like the Cookie Monster or something. It sounded really dumb.
Hey, well, it was the beginnings, you know. I mean,
you got to start somewhere.
People evolve, musicians evolve, you know, and that's the way it works. And so does songwriting.
Yeah, for sure, sure, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did Solarium have originals or was all?
Yeah, it was all original, baby.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, all original. And we loved it. We loved it, man. And man, I just so many good times, man. But that was it. That was really the start of it. But you know, if you backpedal maybe about a year before that, my very, very first time on stage was at McAllen Memorial's talent show of 2004. And it's funny because I actually, my very first time on stage was with my current bass player and current drummer. And they were kids. I was 16. They must have been like 14, 13.
Wow.
It was weird, man.
And what did you do at the talent show?
We, so a little backstory was that their older brother, Bobby, was in my grade. And one day, Bobby brought his acoustic guitar. He was playing it before math. I think it was a math class. And I remember him playing it, and I heard it. I'm like, oh, shit, this is cool, man. I went up to him, and he was playing, I think he was playing a Creed song, if I'm not mistaken. And I just started singing along with it, man. Just singing the song. I didn't know who the hell he was, but I was just like, yeah, and I was just jamming it. And then he stopped, and then we both kind of looked at each other and like, dude, let's do the battle of the bands. And it was only like maybe 6-7 weeks away. It wasn't too long. So he goes, look, if you can sing, I've got a little brother who could play drums, a little brother who could play bass, and that's all we need, baby. So we did it, man. We did it, and I actually named the band Lay in Ruins, which they later took and they did something completely different with this band Lay in Ruins. They gained a lot of notoriety down here in South Texas. But yeah, on that first time on stage, man, I'll never forget it. We covered "World So Cold" by Mudvayne.
Damn.
And it was awesome. We won first place, dude.
Wow.
And
There
all the other bands had been together for a little while, and we just formed just to do that. We rehearsed maybe 3 or 4 times. It was great, man.
It's because the very first time you do it, like you get together, it's like you get that feeling, and it's like it's like the first drag out of a duber or something, or the first drink out of a beer. You know,
it really is.
Just like you feel it right there.
It really is, man. It really is, and it's like, and I guess no one will be able to relate to us, man. It's like it's that feeling.
Did you ever?
I was going to say you went from second string in football to first string at the talent show, baby.
Yeah. Woo! Stage center, front and center. And,
you know what's weird is that after we won the Battle of the Bands, for a little while, you know, I'd be walking in the hallway, and they'd be like, "Hey, etc." You know, like
They would say,
people recognized me for the first time. You know.